Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be learning how to cut and sew a cargo pocket. So this is the pattern we are going to be making use of, and in this pattern it is 13 by 13 and I have to fold it by 2. Okay, so I folded it by 2 because we are going to be making use of the center pattern. Okay, the center of the pattern. Now, well, the first thing we are going to do is to come down after folding it by 2 to determine, or you just mark the center of the pattern. Then I went down by 2 inches. So after coming down by 2 inches, I'm making a straight line on it. I'm going to mark the 6 inches in between the center line. So I'm going to divide my 6 inches by 2. What I just wrote down there is 6 inches. So I'm going to divide my 6 inches in 2 and place it in between the center line and mark 6 inches. After marking down my 6 inches, the next thing I'm going to do is to come down by 7 inches from the line. Come down by 7 inches as the length of the pocket. Then I am going to, that is 7 inches. Then I am going to divide 7 inches down in between the center line, 7 inches down. Remember, the upper side is 6 inches and the down part is 7 inches. The side length is 7 inches. The side length is 7 inches. The down part is 7 inches. The only 6 inches we had was just the upper side. So the down is wider than the upper. The down of the pocket is wider than the upper side of the pocket. So the down is 7 inches, 7, 7 and 6. That is what I wrote there. So now the next thing I am going to do is to come up by 1 inch. Come up by 1 inch at the upper side of the pocket. Then give half an inch. Put half an inch on the side. No, not that side. Half an inch here. And then mark down half inch. So after we are done with that, the next thing we are going to do is from the side of the pocket, on the down part of the pocket, I am going to go up by 1 inch like this. So this is the circle. I created a circle line for you to understand what I'm doing. I'm going to mark 1 inch upwards. I will do the same here, up 1 inch upwards like this. And then I will do the same 1 inch downwards like this, 1 inch downwards like this as well. And then I'll connect the lines with my ruler. So once I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is to mark 1 inch up to the 2 inches line, and we'll do the same for the other side. Okay, and we are done with this part. Okay, you see what I did there? 1 inch by the side of the pocket, 1 inch, and after that I'm going to mark another 1 inch again, another 1 inch, another 1 inch, another 1 inch, all the way to the up. And I will do the same. I will repeat the same process on the other side. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, all the way down. Then I'll make sure that the second 1 inch that I created is longer than the first. So the second 1 inch is going to be a complete 7 inches. Remember, the length of the pocket is 7. So we are going to make sure it's 7 inches, you see. So we are going to mark that 7. We make sure that the other side is also complete, 7 inches. Now we are going to create a straight line on that second one. So now we have 7 inches in length as the second point. So now what next we are going to do is that we are going to do the same at the down part of the pattern paper. The same thing that we did on the side. This is the first 1 inch. Then we are going to mark the second 1 inch now. The second 1 inch. Let's mark the second 1 inch. This is the second 1 inch now. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, all the way. And we're going to make sure that the down part, remember the down part is 7. So we have 3.5 and 3.5, which is 7. So we are going to mark a straight line on that second line. So now after marking the straight lines, we are going to add 1/2 inch. Okay, let's connect the lines. Look at how I'm connecting it. You see how I connected it? Just take a look at how I'm connecting it. Make sure you did the same thing I'm doing here. So I connected it like this. Then I'll add 1/2 inch on all the lines. 1/2 inch. Remember, we have already added our 1/2 inch at the upper side before that 2 inches, so it's not needed. I'm just labeling the inches. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch on the sides. Then we are just going to add 1/2 inch on all the lines that we marked. We are going to be adding 1/2 inch on all the lines. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. That's our seam allowance. 1/2 inch, then connect it. Yeah. Okay. We're now going to mark 1/2 inch again. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So this is how to cut your cargo pant pocket. Okay, so you can make this pattern and just leave it. Anytime you're making a cargo pant, you just bring this pattern and just cut your pocket. It's as simple as that. Instead of cutting in pieces, cutting pieces that you know that you might make a mistake. This one, there is no mistake. You just cut and join. Very easy to join. Very easy. You're going to see it in this video. Very easy. Okay, so I am going to add my 1/2 inch on those lines as well. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Make sure you do not make mistake with the lines. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Repeat the same process on the other side, so that when joining it you will not make a mistake. Okay, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Okay, so after joining, it's time to cut the excesses. Just cut out all the excesses. Okay, and once I'm done, this is what we have. This is the pattern of a cargo pocket. Okay, this is the pattern of a cargo pocket. Okay, anytime you're making a cargo pocket, this is what you're going to have as your pattern. So now I am going to cut out this pattern on the main fabric. This is the fabric that we're going to be making use of. Okay, for easy understanding, we're going to be making use of a plain fabric for us to get what we are doing. Okay, so I'm pinning it down so that we won't make a mistake with the cutting. So I'm going to cut. You see how I'm cutting everything. We have already added our extra allowance, so there is no need of adding extra allowance because we have already added it in the pattern. So now the next thing we are going to do is to remove the pattern paper and join it, start joining. So now this is how I'm going to join it. I'm just going to join it like this, okay. And I'm going to sew with 1/2 inch that we added at the pattern paper. We're going to use the 1/2 inch to sew like that and like that, just at the down part, and then I'll come back and show you what we did so far. So I've joined it. I'm using a black thread because this is a tutorial video. This is just a tutorial video. I'm not making this for someone, so that's why I'm using it. So now this is what we have. I will iron it. I'll go ahead and iron it and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is how I ironed it. Make sure you close up the upper side of the pocket with the 1 inch extra that we created, and close it up. You can decide to close it up or leave it, but I left mine. So we're going to create the cover of the pocket. We're going to create the width by 6 and length by 4.5. That is what I created. I folded it by 2. The wideness, that's the wideness is 6 and the length is by 4, and then close the 2 sides. So after closing the 2 sides, this is what I have. I'm going to iron it down. So this is the cover of the pocket. Okay, so we kept it by the side. Okay, so after trimming it off, we are going to bring out the fabric that we are going to be placing the pocket on. This fabric is in place of our cargo pants, so this is just an illustration. So I marked the center point just the way we did at the pattern paper. We have 6 at the top and 7 at the down. So if you like, use your chalk to mark the center of the pattern piece. Okay, so now this is what we are going to have. I already marked the lines that we are going to be attaching it to. The 6 inches at the top, 7 inches by the side, and 7 inches by the down. Exactly the first lines that we marked when we were creating the pattern. That is what I marked at the fabric that I'm going to attach it to. So now I'm going to attach it like so, with the 1/2 inch, that 1/2 inch that we added after the 2 inches. So that is how I'm going to attach it, the 1/2 inch. And then, so it was easier for us to attach it with the 1/2 inch that we created because of the iron. I remember I ironed it very well before attaching it. So at the upper side, we are going to just top stitch on it and then sew here all around and top stitch that place that my pin was. So we are going to move over to the machine and I'll show you how I joined it. On my machine, I'm going to top stitch the upper side like this. Just like this, I top stitched it like this at the upper side, and then cut it out, the thread, see. Then I'll open the down part. Okay, I'll open the pocket like this, the other side, not the inside, like this, the side of the pocket. I'll open it and I'll sew on top of the 1/2 inch. I'll just sew like this. So I'll sew all the way around. As I'm sewing, I'm removing the pin that I used to hold it. So I'll join all the way around. We are sewing on top of the line that we created, remember, that we marked out the fabric. Now I'm going to top stitch on top of this side. I'll top stitch on it. So I'm going to show you what it looks like after joining first. Okay, so after joining, this is what I have. Okay, this is what I have after joining the pocket. Okay, so it was so easy. So we are now going to place the cover like so on top of the pocket, like this. So this is what we have. I'm still showing you the pocket. So I'm going to place the cover on top of it like this. Let's say, okay, for this place now, you're going to close it if you like. I don't want to close mine, but if you like, you close yours. Just stitch it before attaching it to the your pants. So now I'm going to close the pocket. I'm going to sew with 1/2 inch on top of it like this. I'm going to sew with 1/2 inch. Okay, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like after joining with 1/2 inch. So this is what I have after joining with 1 inch. So I'll close it up like this and top stitch on top of it, and top stitch so on top of the cover, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. I'll just sew on top of it like this, and then I'll come back and show you what the final look looks like. So take a look at this beauty. It's looking so beautiful. So this is the best way to sew your cargo pocket. Okay, the most understandable tutorial video of your cargo pocket. Okay, for me this is easier for me to sew. You just use your pattern, just keep the pattern. Anytime you're sewing a cargo pant pocket, you just bring it out, cut it, and attach to your cargo pants like that. It is very easy. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video up to this moment, please drop a comment, like, share, and comment on my videos, and also please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching my beautiful video. See you guys in my next video. Bye.